If you're thinking that this is a fixed or fuxed Fridge Fix Friday, you're clearly insane because it's a TV. Yes, it's a Samsung, I don't know the model number, I'm going to put it down there. And it's not actually my TV, so I need to be very careful with this one. If it leaves here as fuxed as it came in, I'm safe. If it leaves here in a bin bag, I'm in a lot of trouble. It's a TV with a Certified for Windows Vista sticker on it, up there, where you can't see, which is a bit odd, but maybe somebody just goes, I love Certified for Windows Vista stickers, I'm putting one on everything, including my TV. I don't know, and I don't care. What I do care about is what happens if I try to power it up. I've been told completely dead, I've assumed capacitors, because it's always the capacitors, except it never is, except this is a Samsung from about 10 years ago. From what I've been led to believe about Samsung from about 10 years ago, it's always the capacitors. I have it plugged in, I do not have it flicked on at the socket. I now have it flicked on at the socket, and is anything oh, beep. And a blue light. And a beep. And a blue light. Well, it isn't completely dead, and I thought it was supposed to be completely dead, but people have different definitions of dead. I would say this is just incredibly unwell. I don't know what beep, blue light, off, beep, blue light, I don't know what that means. Apart from, it means I'm going to have to take it apart, which I will go and do elsewhere. Welcome to Elsewhere. I was going to go with Saint Elsewhere, but given the timing, a really outdated, obscure hospital reference might not be the best thing to go with. I don't want people thinking I've lost my sense of taste. Yes, this is the back of the Samsung. You previously, and not so long ago, saw the front of the Samsung. I had a quick look around it. I took the stand off so I could just lay it down flat to make life a bit easier. And I was taking a quick look while the stand was coming flat. I only see 2 screws. Which means I'm dreading there being just a plethora, a myriad, and other ancient words for fuck me too many nasty plastic clips. Kinda concerned, but that's those 2, and those are the only 2 I can see. They've even got the arrows of these are screws to take out, and there are no other arrows. This bothers me. I really do not want a sea of plastic clips. I'm going to have a sea of plastic clips, aren't I? Which then means I have to find my sea of plastic clip unclipper. Or, a coffee place loyalty card. That could be useful. A little bit, oh yeah, there's clips. Of course there are clips. This does not bode well. I remember the Philips TV. You may not. It is in my video somewhere. I remember the Philips TV that has an interesting red smear on one side, and I thought, well, I pull it apart, maybe it's a bad LED or something. The screen itself seems to be fine. Oh, I'll finish this anecdote, I'll get on with it. It seems to be fine, and it was held together by about 18 trillion plastic clips, some of which broke, but then when you got into it, it was further held together by sellotape, hope, and impenetrability. Very annoying, and I'm dreading what I'm about to reveal here. Oh, okay. I can see very little. I can see almost as nothing as I could see with the back on. That's not helpful. How do I get into this? Actually, what I do want to do is the power button had no ergonomic tactility, hapticness. I don't know what the right word is. When I pushed it, it didn't feel very pushy. The pushy button did not feel pushy. That's the technical term I'm going with here. That's my jargon. I wonder if I might have a look at that, because I don't think it's got anything to do with it. And with these, it's always the capacitors, except it's never the capacitors, except it's always the capacitors. But this looks like an absolute arse to get into. Where's the power button left? Don't know, I can't remember. Power button lives there. Yeah, so the power button lives on this board. Does it? I think the power button lives on this board. Looking at that. So, I'm only doing this because I'm fairly sure I've got to somehow get into this, and that looks nightmarish. And this looks easy. And the easy way is never the successful way. It's not only no fun if it's easy, it's also no fix if it's easy. But that really perturbs me. Just that. I am perturbed by it. I'm also wondering why this isn't lifting out. I've undone the screw. What else do you need from me? What do you want from me? I only want to repair you. Why is that so wrong? Okay, I've got an LED. I've got... What the hell? How's that work? The button didn't want to be pushed. As in, it just resisted any attempt to push it. And that's the power button. And it's got no... How does that work? The rest of this I had a look. It does have controls at the front because I was looking for pushy button things. And it's got, I presume, capacitive touch control across the bottom of the screen, well, across the bezel. The power button, I don't understand. I'm not fathoming this at all. It's there. How does it button? I cannot understand how it buttons. I can see that maybe there's a crack there, and this is metallicized plastic, but none of that explains how it buttons. I don't know how to button the button, assuming that is the button. What's this? How does that move? Is that the button? Okay, no, I don't think that's the button, because also that has power written on it. Where does that go? That thing there, that pokey, pretty thing. No, that's just a lens for the infrared, isn't it? And then there's that, which will be the LED that kept blinking. That'll be the blue LED. How do you power? You can't power. There is no means of you powering. I'm going to unplug this, and I'm going to plug power into this and see what happens. Just see if it makes any difference. I will have to find the power cable. I will be right back. I am right back. Here's the power cable. This is me plugging one end in. No, let's plug this end in first. This is me plugging that end in first, and then plugging this end in. Trying to. And I'm not going to get a blue light because it's on there. There's the beep. Okay, so whatever it's doing, because I originally wondered if it was a stuck power button, because I was expecting the button to push, and it didn't. Well, it's still doing the same thing with no power button whatsoever. So, I'm going to have to go further into this. Wish me luck. Yeah, this does not... How? Just how? Not even why. I haven't got to the why yet. I'm still stuck on the how. When I get past the how, I will move to the why. And then I will probably say, why not? I am a TV mountaineer. I have a mountain of TVs. Just call me Hillary. But not Clinton. For I do not sell cards. Right, I can see backlighty things. How much of this is going to have to come off? A lot. Possibly all, or at least much. I'm nervous about how much I'm going to have to dismantle this, because the more I have to take it apart, the more I have to put it back together. The more I have to put it back together, the more chance of it exploding and going back to its owner in a bin bag. Now, I am not making any money from the owner on this, because I said, you know, I'm teaching myself how to fix stuff, and I do it on YouTube. And they went, we've got loads of broken crap. And I went, awesome. And then they said, but we will be wanting it back. And I thought, given my success rate, less awesome. I do have to put this back together in no worse a condition, as I've already said, than it came to me. And so the more screws and cables and chances for things to go horribly wrong there are, and the more nervous I become. Alright, probably didn't need to take that off at both ends, but I have now. There's this. That's the speakers off. I'm not going to... Do I have... No, I don't have to hopefully take those out. Well, even if I do take them out, I'm not going to be doing it hopefully. I'm going to be doing it trepidatiously. What else? Well, there's more pointy arrows. I'm just unscrewing things that have pointy arrows pointing at them now. I could probably put the screws in a little pot I got to put screws in, but never mind. I'll have a open plan screw storage approach. That needs to come off. Oh crap, I don't like how that seems to want to lift the entire glass up. I just want to take this bit off. Oh, that bit is just... Okay, because screens are fragile, and if the screen breaks, this is completely fuxed beyond all hope. I really do not enjoy doing things like this. Well, there's the back of the screen, which is slightly terrifying me, and I think I want to put that somewhere very safe. And I don't know where I've got this very safe to put it. I'm very nervous about this. When it's my own stuff, I just get annoyed when I break it. When it's somebody else's stuff, there's a whole new bundle of responsibility and consequence involved. Right, let's see if I can shuffle this somewhere to safety. Or at least less danger. Less danger's good. More safe, less danger. That's what I kind of want. Yeah, that's probably not going to go any further over there. Okay, let's see what's inside this metal hell. The backs of some boards. Well, that's got to be the main board. It has the LCD LVDS, I think, if you're being jargony. It has one of them hanging off it. So this must be the power board. So this is where Sparky Death Bang goes in, and then Sparky Death Bang hopefully doesn't come out into me, because that could put a real crimp on what's already not the most perfect day. Alright, do I need to undo those? Well, I've undone that one now. We need to, let's undo the big shiny one. There's another big shiny one. There's only two big shiny ones? There will be capacitor death here. I'm being kind of careful. I can see a separation thing there, so that there is probably Here Be Dragons of Electrical Death capacitor blowy bang bang dead. Really don't want to touch that. Really don't want to touch any of this, I must admit. Power supply faults are moderately easy, because if they're too complicated, just put a whole new power supply in. But they also scare me, because Dragon Electrical Death. Over here, just fizz bang magic smoke tingle. Over here, death. Very much perturbs me. I don't like going near it. I do have to take that screw out. Yeah, this is... Maybe I'm being overcautious. I don't know. Am I being overcautious? Let's see with the multimeter. That's a capacitor. I'm sure that's a capacitor. Looking from here, the big chunkiness of it all, I am certain that's going to be a capacitor. See what the multimeter thinks of it. This has just been plugged in, so there is every possibility there is still power going through, or went in and stayed in. Well, if that's to be believed, the capacitor has no life. Do I really want to believe that? Do I just want to go, I will lick the back of this recently charged capacitor? No. I'm still not going to trust it. What I might do... Oh, there was no Sparky Death. Oh, maybe it is discharged, but I have had ones that haven't been. I have blown up a test meter box thing, and I have interestingly tingled a fingertip, and that tingle did not go away for days afterwards. This is why I'm even more cautious than I previously was. Flipping this around, but not off. Is that soldered in there? If that's soldered in there, then I guess it unplugs from there. Maybe it isn't soldered in, but I've unplugged it now anyway. You know I said it's a Samsung, so even though it's always the capacitors, never the capacitors, definitely always the capacitors, it's a Samsung. They look okay at first. Well, they don't look bad. I'm not going to say they look great. And they don't look bad. And it's weird because this seems to be doing that power cycling thing of trying and failing, which does now worry me that maybe the screen's got a bad backlight in it. Would it refuse to power up if it's got a blown, because this isn't LED, this is the CFL, fluorescent, whatever. This is the long strip light type one, not the little LED one. Would it refuse to play if that was faulty? I don't know. I might have to get my test metery thing and just start pulling things out and testing them. Preferably off the power supply. Main thing I should be focusing on, really. Well, nothing looks blown up, but nothing looks bad. Well, I have had one capacitor in the past that wasn't, well, that looked perfect but was blown, but this... I'm in a lot of here. I may have to go away and do some testing and come back. I love that I've got a fuse checkpoint, but I can't actually see a fuse on here. That's some stunningly interesting design. I have a feeling if I just replace this board, then this TV will live again. But I also have a feeling boards for this probably cost quite a bit. Now is not a time that people are going to consider selling these a priority, understandably. And I kind of want to get it done and out the way fairly quickly. I don't know, I'm talking bollocks while I'm looking around going, please show me something obvious that even an idiot like me can recognise as being broken. And it's refusing to. Okay, do I know where my bulpy meaty meter is? Do I know where my beepy multimeter is? Do I know what happened to my power of coherent speech? No, I don't know where the beepy multimeter is, which is a shame because I find it really convenient to just be able to get the beep. I can't get the beep now. I'm poking things on the death side. I don't like doing this. Okay. Well, that didn't seem to be happy going one way, which I think is good for a diode. I don't know. Should I put it in diode mode? I'm still learning what diode mode does. Let's put it in diode mode. Maybe that's how we test diodes. Let's put it in diode mode and... well, it isn't saying 0. And it seems to be going up as though it's charging a capacitor. I suspect that these are going to be the same, yes. But they're not going beep, and not only because this doesn't beep. So that's okay. What about here? Although I imagine if something was a complete dead short, I wouldn't even be getting that weird beep that I was getting. That doesn't look bad. I'm still really cautious around here because death, dragons, electricity. Yeah, I am going to have to fire it. Well, I'm going to put this somewhere much more safely out the way. I'm going to get the soldering iron hot and I'm going to just start pulling things off the board and testing them with the testy thing. Okay, I've peeled this up slightly to be able to see what its rating is, to think, have I got one of those randomly in a box? No, I haven't. But I might have most of the other capacitors in little tiny tippy drawer things. They're so cute. Start again. Okay, I've got the power board completely out, everything else to one side. I peeled this up just to see what rating was on it, thinking I've got some random things I've stripped off old boards, not knowing what I'm doing, but putting them in boxes anyway. I don't have one of those, but I might have most of the others. But I thought what I'll do first is something incredibly stupid, just for a change. I'm going to plug just this in and I'm going to test the voltages. That's why that's taped down. So I'm going to have to, well, plug it in, which I'm slightly terrified about. But I'm also going to have to put this where you can see it and where I can see it, where we can all see it. I'm going to plug this in and then I'm going to flick the switch and then, again, electrical death dragons, I'm going to stay the fucks away from there. Hence the tape of the thing over here. Far from there. Don't explode, don't explode, don't explode. I don't know what voltages to expect. I don't really know what I'm looking for. I know I need a standby voltage. I don't know if I need to trick this into thinking it has to turn fully on. So I'm just really looking for any sign of life. And to make sure, yes, I think I've got the multimeter plugged into the right thing. Okay, so I've got minus 0.8, so I've got something's happening there. Something's happening there. Something's happening there. What am I supposed to be getting? I'm supposed to be getting power. There's like 1.5, I can't read that. No, 13. I'm supposed to just be getting a lot of 13 volts. Okay. But beer to permanent. So I might be on the power switch. Why are they all black apart from that one red one? Does not seem like a good colour combination. 13. Okay, this is putting out 13, which is making me think the problem might not be the power board, or could be... Was that the tape rustling, or did I short something? Could be that the problem is with the backlights or with the inverter. Do I know what voltage that puts out so I don't blow my meter up? No! All it does is say, caution, high voltage. Ah, great. Caution, caution, high voltage at the Dragon Bar. I'm very concerned. Well, this goes up to 600. What's the worst that can happen? Apart from electrical death. Actually, no, this side's still the lower death. Right, what happens if can I poke the lower death? Do I get any reading on the lower death? Do I need this to think it's turning itself on to get a reading on the lower death? Probably. Okay, well, I am getting 13 volts, which it thinks I should be getting, but I don't know if I'm getting it everywhere I'm supposed to be getting it. So I am going to dig out the soldering iron and just start pulling off a few components. After unplugging it. Yes. I'm going to start pulling off some components and testing them and just hoping to God one of them goes, yeah, I'm so totally fucked. Because if it's not that, then I'm going to have to start using my brain. Right, so I took all of the capacitors, apart from the ceramic-y typed blue ones and a couple of very small ones. I took most of the capacitors off. They all looked fine. I did get a bit of big sparky when I did the stupid discharge method. Don't do that at home. I got that sparky. I put them all on the tester and it went, your capacitors all have suitable capacitance. And I thought, well, that's fuxed my capacity to be able to fix this then, because nothing is leaping out. And at this point, bearing in mind this is an older set, so this is LCD. It has an inverter which takes whatever voltage it's messing around with and turns it into a bajillion gigawatt things. I mean, you can go back in time with what comes out of there. And based on that, I don't have any means of testing it. I think what it's doing, I'll power it up in a minute. I think what it's doing is it's trying to turn the backlight on and then it's going, oh, fucks, backlight's not working. No, nope, shut down, try again. And I think that's why I'm getting the blue light beep, blue light beep, blue light beep. I can't test that. I don't have spare CFL tubes. I don't have an inverter to test the ones on the screen itself. So I've kind of hit as far as I can go with it. Now, this is what I was doing. I was listening to the beep and being driven, well, I would say slightly mad, but I started slightly mad. Being driven incredibly madder by it. This, I think, is the backlight output. This is the wire that tells all of this, turn the lights on, it's too dark in here, there's a monster under the bed. And if I manage to get on there at all with anything, nothing now happens. Because my multimeter probe. Right, so it's kind of nothing, and then it jumps up, and then it goes away again. And it's kind of nothing, and then it jumps up, and then it goes away again. I have 13 volts on the other voltages. If I do the pokey around where maybe there should be volts, there's 5 volts there. It stays fairly stable. I've got the 13 that comes in. So I know I've got 5 and 13, because apparently where you see a coil and a thingy, you've got a power circuit regulator supply thing. I don't know. I've been watching the Sorin guy. He's really good at this stuff, and I'm still just a very slow learner. But yeah, I've poked around. I have voltages there. I have not what I'm looking at there. Ah, there we go. There's the 3.3 that I would expect to have, or maybe 3.3. And it seems to drop, but I'm guessing that that's because the TV's doing a reset. It's resetting itself. It's rebooting every time it goes, oh, no light. It's an anti-Mogwai, is what I'm saying about this board. So I have, maybe this is just what it does when I don't have the lights plugged in. It was doing it when I did, anyway. But what I've done, I have resoldered some joints that looked a little bit suspect. I've chased with a multimeter the circuit from this wire to the control chip for the inverters. That's all good. So it's at the point where everything seems okay, and yet it's doing this. All I can do is plug those lights back in, see if any of the resoldering I've done has made a difference. I'm not feeling hopeful. Well, I have reassembled it. Here it is reassembled, not on fire in a bin bag. This is a good thing. I suspect the bad thing is going to be, it's going to have the same problem. But I need to power it up just to make sure I haven't made it worse. And who knows, maybe I am TV Jesus. I'm not going to be TV Jesus. Blue light. Beep. Blue light. Beep. Blue. Yeah. Well, it's not Lazarus. I'm not TV Jesus. This comes as little surprise. The more I thought about this, the more I thought, this has to be an inverter fault. And I traced the, well, it seemed to be giving the signal from the mainboard to the inverter through the nibble, which I believe, well, I presume, I deduce, stands for Backlight Enable. So I followed that through, and that was that the main board seemed to be trying to send power down there, and I checked the circuit all the way to the little microchippy thing, and everything seemed good. So I checked resistance on the transformers. That seems good from what I could read of what it was meant to be. So is it the chip? Is it one of the fiddly little componenty things around the chip? I don't know. I don't know where to go with this. I don't know how to test further than this. And even if I did know how to test further, I don't have the parts. So I looked at a board, and a board is £25. And this TV working is worth 73 pence and a half-sucked polo mint. So that's probably out the question, especially because it's not my TV. If this was my TV, I'd be tempted to do it just because I like to fix stuff. And thinking, yeah, if that gets it working, at least it's repaired. I mean, I'll have spent 28 times what it's worth on making it work, but yeah, it's worth it for the hell of it. This isn't mine, I can't afford to throw money at it, and I don't think the person who this does belong to, I don't think they want to throw money at it either. So, yeah, it seems to be kind of stuck in that I think I know what the problem is, I could be wrong, nobody's going to throw the money at it to find out. It's kind of dead, Jim. However, I am going to very quickly do a slightly, oh god, everybody on YouTube does it, it annoys the hell out of me thing, of just saying, I'm not asking you to like, subscribe, ring the bell, but if you have had one of these, and you've had this fault, and you know what it is, and it's less than $16 trillion to be able to fix it, please leave a comment. Just drop a comment in there. Oh yeah, it's one of these, here's a link to it, it takes you 2 minutes, it gets it all up and running. If that's actually the case, that will be super awesome, and you will have eternal gratitude, or at least as long as it takes me to do a revisit video, and somebody will have a working TV again. So, you know, the world will be a slightly better place for that. Of course, if you have no idea, you can also just go, I don't know, it's a piece of crap, set it on fire, put it in a bin bag. It's not mine. But yeah, I'm frustrated because I think I know what it is, but I'm not able to fully go ahead and find out. And that's really where we've got to. Well, where I've got to, and that's where this video is, in case of the TV, tragically, gonna have to end. So, we already know, is it fixed or is it phuxxed? It's phuxxing, well, not fixed.